Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Kissy. I'm going to do a reading today for the collective. I'm getting that this is a reading about either a past, it could be a past partnership, so it's a karmic energy. And what I heard was he's complaining, or all he wants is his freedom, and she complains that she doesn't want him. Yet they're both together. He claims he wants his freedom, but whenever a solution shows up for him to be free, when you pose a question, then why are you there? He shifts the blame onto her behavior. When you ask to define the meaning of the connection that they're in, he evades, because on the one hand, on the outside, this is his woman. To the world, this is my wife, this is my woman. But within the relationship, within the dynamic, because he just wants his freedom to do whatever he wants. That includes being and talking to whoever he wants, going wherever he wants, whenever he wants, leaving the household for however long the period is necessary, while it's good for the get-in. And then when that becomes a little bit too uncomfortable, too demanding, when that inhibits the certain freedoms, it comes right back. Open door policy, no questions asked, actually excited to be received. And then it would seem the perfect lifestyle, a double life, where it's understood here that the freedoms are more liberal than they are here. But over here, it can and does become very chaotic, out of his control. And once it becomes, he thinks he's going to be able to control it, but once it becomes out of his control, he's basically running from that situation and comes back to this situation that he feels completely in control of, but pretends not to understand the instability that he deals with, and then pretends that the instability that he's dealing with is some kind of handicap this person has that depends on him. It's like a reversal, because in fact that person is more financially stable. That person is capable and has shown to be able to manage a simple life, but manage the life nonetheless on their own, independently. Maybe unhappy, maybe not contently, but still has been able to manage long term their own system, their own independence. Meanwhile, this person, who supposedly that person is dependent on, has been inconsistently unstable, or consistently unstable, going back and forth, and sometimes somewhere else, back and forth and somewhere new, back and forth and somewhere old, back and forth and somewhere different, back and forth and somewhere completely clueless. This has been the pattern of behavior. And so now, this person here in this situation with the original woman, this is my woman, doesn't understand now how unperfect, or how bitter, or how angry, or how distorted, or how she went from being this innocent virgin child. This is giving me Elvis and Priscilla Presley vibes. You know, she was a young, beautiful, naive, innocent, love-struck, puppy dog eyes, hearts in her eyes for this man. The only, the best, the most. He was the king of all kings, right? She worshipped him. He loved that worship that she provided him. He had the attention of Scarlets, of other women that were his equals. He never felt comfortable with women his equal. Why? Because they were a threat to him. Because they wouldn't submit to him. Because they wouldn't be as tolerant as this innocent child. So he went back and forth, vacillating between both realities, both types of realms. One where it was wild, crazy fun, beyond his control. Things that he couldn't control. He didn't know how this equal to him could actually make him feel so insecure, or make him feel so inferior, or make him feel so inadequate. This also gives me the story of King Henry VIII, when Anne Boleyn and him were reportedly, they were going for a horse ride when he went to stay at her family's estates for a hunting trip. He went with the intention to meet or to be introduced to a mistress, basically. And he sees her. She's the one that was groomed for him to, be entertained by. And they went for a horse ride. And she is doing the most in the sense of just being herself. She's actually over-excelling in life, over-excelling in all her things. He's been comfortable being a king around people that have always praised him for his mediocrity, just because his title is king. Okay, so out of fear that to fall out of his grace, he was conditioned to believing his greatness was beyond what it actually was. So when he sees Anne Boleyn, who goes for a ride, and she decides to jump over a pond, the king, or I don't even know if it's like just a puddle, a pond, a lake. I mean, it had to be bigger than a puddle. But the point is that when he tried to do it, he ends up falling in and hurts himself. And he's so embarrassed and ashamed that he basically, she's kind of disgraced because his ego was bruised. So they send in her sister, Mary, to go tend to him in the bedside. When he's there, she tends to him. And he sees her softness, her caress, but she's praising her sister. She's downplaying her own energy simply so that she doesn't get in trouble by those that try to set her up. So she has to kind of like not be too much in his favor, because if she's too much in his favor, she could get in trouble by the agenda of those trying to put the other one in his in his face. So he recognizes, I guess, a certain level of realness with her, that it wasn't fake, but it also wasn't threatening. Whereas with Anne Boleyn, there was a sort of threat of a competitive nature. He felt insecure around her. So he felt certain admiration and love from this person that was honest and true and sincere and without a agenda. And that intrigued him. So now he's completely hell-bent on having this dynamic with her, where then the agenda's going on for the other one to be everything, like they're trying to get him with Anne, not with Mary, but he's falling for Mary. He's enjoying his relationship with Mary while Anne is exiled. So it's like an opportunity for him to just be catered to, and then exile, like Black Moon Lilith, away so that it doesn't cast such a shadow over the king that he can't handle a little bit of inferiority to a power beyond him, an authority that's a little more raw than his is, because his confidence was based on the false love that was surrounding him. Anne built her own power from her own achievement. So she was confident in what she could do because she was doing what she did well, and she knew who she was. So now she's learning to play the game of these people in France, of the court. It's like, oh, I got exiled for being good, for being great. I got exiled for making him feel small. Fuck all these motherfuckers. Now I'm going to play him the way he thought he was going to play me, and I'm going to play all of them. And that's what got her into trouble. She decided to play the game of men with egos in power in a world where she didn't have that kind of power, but she had the mindset to be able to have a sort of influence over these powerful men. But when it became, again, too much of a strike on that ego, that power to destroy that the king had is what ended her life. So it's like he abused his power because his ego couldn't handle it. He wasn't a true king in the sense of making decisions not based on emotional needs, personal emotional needs. You know what I mean? So anyway, I think that was that. I don't know. Maybe there's more about that story that I need to talk about. But it just seems to me that he ended up, okay, so Anne Boleyn comes back to make him basically, to play the coquettish game, to entice him, to seduce him, to get what she wants now from a strategic standpoint. And so when she starts to do that, she gets his favor. She can play that game. Like, she has them all falling for her in the sense of like, damn, you know, she got the king like falling for her. So they all kind of fall for her too, because if the king falls for her, they kind of sense like she has to be very powerful. Meanwhile, he still has her sister, who he knows is a very loyal subject, who he knows would do anything and be honest and true and good to him. But when she manipulates him, because she has him by the balls, basically, because she's seducing him, she's playing games with his ego, she's playing games with seduction, she's really getting him in a very Neptunian world of passion and pleasure and chase and the desire to, he feels empowered, he feels greater than, it's like she's his favorite fan, in the sense of like, or I'm sorry, he wants to be like the ultimate fan to her. Like, it's like she challenges him in a way that has him so intrigued that now he's like in a thing over her. That's why they've said that she had him, that she was a witch, and that she basically put a spell on him. She did put a spell on him. She seduced him. She was sensual. She understood his passions, and she had learned certain strategies. Meanwhile, when she tells him, you need to, I'll give you what you want. It's like they had a point where he was about to commit to the sister because she gave him a son. When he saw that she gave him a son, Anne knew, if I don't make my move here and now, he's going to make her son everything in the kingdom. He's going to put her child first, and anything I wouldn't be able to do anything to have his favor, right? So she convinces him and agrees to a term. Then now he has to break his ties to her, because what she was promising him is what he's been wanting. But the moment he sees, oh shit, I don't think I need this because now I got this, she just like snatched his little, ego and said, do it this way. We'll do it this way. She kept him in her clutches, when that might have been a better option for him, right? He would have had a successor and whatever. But anyway, they never actually confirmed that was his son, because at the end, in the records, it doesn't show, but it's just rumored that was like his bastard child. But they can't really say, because back then, if he wanted that child not to be a bastard child, that child wouldn't be a bastard, because whatever. It's like there was a power to change it up for personal gain if necessary. Why were we talking about that? I'm just saying, these are the energies that are coming through. Power struggles in partnerships and seduction games, power games, manipulation. The unraveling of this tyrannical king that's been used to getting his way and now isn't getting his way in this area, or in this, finding himself with not all the options that he thought he had. And all the while they're doing what, they're doing, everyone around them is starting to see that this is falling apart. And this is falling apart because the king was not behaving as a king. He didn't have his priorities straight. He was more focused on doing what pleases him as opposed to doing what was best for his kingdom. And so now, okay, the first thing I said was a king he says, what was the first thing I said when I started the reading? He says he wants his freedom, and she says, what did I say? That she can't stand him? Or she complains about him, right? If she wanted to leave the situation, if she really wanted to, with what she has, she could easily pay him off to leave her be. It's like, oh, okay, you don't want to leave me the house? Okay, keep the house. Okay, you don't want to leave me the car? Take the car. It's like, just name your price. What's your price? Whatever your price is, go ahead, name it. He can't name a price because whatever he does, what she's saying is, I can match it and then some. Name your price. But he won't do that because then he knows his tie to her is severed permanently. He cannot accept that. But she doesn't do that. So what does that tell you? They're both not really wanting what they say they want. Because if he really wanted freedom, he wouldn't be invested in so many situations that make him have to run from place to place, constantly seeking some kind of refuge from one issue to another. If he really wanted freedom, he would have his castle way out here, and whoever comes into his doors is either going to make his kingdom greater, more empowered, it's an alliance for him, or it's some kind of information giving him insight into what's going on around him so that he can make the best moves possible. That's what the true emperor, is looking for or stands on. This is a king of wands that it could be a king of water that basically is going based on emotions, and when their emotions are high, thinks their kingdom looks great, and when their emotions are low, their kingdom looks like shit. And instead of being real with what they're saying that they want, they're running out of those options. They can't hide from themselves. They're one way or the other needing to see themselves and how they are pretending to be this emperor and coming to terms with being this king in reverse. It's like a blow to the ego, right? It's like, damn, I haven't been a genuine king. I was surrounded by people that made me feel that I was a king based on these things. And now that I see what this emperor is up to, there's an emperor example that's coming through that he's starting to witness, whether he's seeing this through the high priestess or he's seeing this through the empress, the higher ideal of this emperor. He cannot find, he's grasping at straws to deny that reality. And then when it comes to this karmic feminine, Could be earth in reverse, fire in reverse, water in reverse. Is choosing to remain an illusion? Because the truth would then imply that that story that was invested into did not manifest the way that it was dreamed of. And the dream became a nightmare. So when the dream became a nightmare long ago, it was like the trauma of that. No, let that nightmare, it's actually a dream. It's really a dream. No, it's really a dream. Oh, no. That nightmare thing? Yeah, no, I definitely don't like nightmares at all. I don't want to deal with those nightmares ever again. Oh, no, what I have here, this is a dream. Yep, dream. This is a happy dream. But it's like self-denial. Even though they don't want to be in this nightmare anymore at all. They absolutely don't want to. They actually know that their dream, they can actually be really content and just in gratitude and just happy with where they are. But they're somehow holding on to this situation that is not at all even something that they want. So it's like, why are we holding it? If it's something we don't want, why are we holding on to it? A comfort blanket, it's like getting rid of your baby blanket as an adult. It's like, I can't part ways. I was supposed to pass it down, but what if it's not healthy for the kids to pass it down? What if it's like really, messed up? Do you really want to pass that down to your kids? No. You want to give them a nice new one? Oh, okay, then maybe we can frame it. Maybe we can put it in a keepsake. No, what if it has some germs that can destroy everything you got going on in the house? Part ways with it. Take a picture of it. Take a picture of it is like having a memory of the situation, having a memory, a fond memory that you can pick up and just focus on that part of that memory that was beautiful. Take a picture of it. It was a nice little blanket. Take a picture of it. You have it. You get rid of it. It gets repurposed. Okay? It gets recycled into something better. That energy, that situation, that dynamic, it's like, accept it, that it was like a I just saw like a thing of like, I don't know why, but like of cupcakes, right? And they're all coming out really, like, all just really great. And then this one cupcake didn't come out correct. So you remove it. You'll still eat it. You can still eat it or whatever, but it can't be part of the production. It can't go into the market. It can't go into, so it's like, it's not that there was anything wrong in essence. It's just that for where you're going or what you're doing or what it's being purposed for has to be a certain way. So that could be like the dream. If you're hell-bent on the dream being like this, then you need to ensure that, you know what I mean, like be okay with the rules you put out, because certain things are going to have to come off if that is the expectation. If the expectation is perfection, don't get mad that you got to remove all the imperfection. And sometimes the imperfection you remove could be the very thing that there's nothing wrong with it. It's just, it's not perfection. So are you willing to settle for, natural blips in the system? Like, those would be like the eccentricities or the things that are just slightly different in us. It doesn't mean that there's anything wrong. It's just that one little thing that they do is so I can't live with you based on that. I'm going to grow to hate you based on that one tiny thing. It's like, but some things aren't tiny. Some things are like can be like poison. Some people can be like poison to your well-being. If your emotional needs are constantly being triggered to respond in fear, then you got to ask yourself, am I the one in constant fear, or am I over the fear, but there's someone around me that keeps trying to trigger this pattern, or someone that just doesn't understand, like, I don't want to experience this anymore. I grew out of this. But then if you did grow out of it, you wouldn't be in the space to have that trigger be triggered anymore. You can't be triggered when you've healed. So that means you eventually don't attract those things anymore. Anyway, so what does the collective need to know about? I don't know that we're going to focus any further on the karmics. I think that was like that about the karmics. Let's focus on your investments. 7 of coins, 7 of pentacles. What you've put your efforts into, the truth, the Queen of Swords, trusting that intuition of mind, of knowing what is sound and real and practical and true. I see through the bullshit. You've invested in being able to see through the bullshit. Let's call a spade a spade. Call a Ace of Wands. You're ready. You're very passionate about what you're learning. You're also very passionate about embarking on a new journey in terms of something that motivates you. Because you ended up putting a death. You ended some kind of emotional response to certain behaviors or certain energies. You got justice when it comes to your environment. Whatever you put an end to when it comes to your emotions, whatever emotion you said, enough is enough. I see through the bullshit. My investments are paying me out because I can see the truth. I have the intellect, I have the wisdom, I have the knowledge, I have the understanding of the truth. I see clearly. I'm not confused in my emotions. I put an end to that. I put an end to not being able to see through my passions or my own potential. I see through the bullshit. And justice has been served in your environment. It's almost like opportunities are coming, okay? Based on your experience, based on your passions. It's like, okay, now you know you're going to be receiving something in your environment. Something that maybe it's going to be more than you're willing to take on. Or maybe you'll be able to manage it because it seems like you're taking it full circle. You go from the Ace of Wands here, being at the 2 of Wands in your environment, open to receiving, and then what you get is this completion of a project. So you were able to carry through. Maybe this is what happened. You were able to carry through a project to its completion. Or you were able to carry through a vision to its fullness. And now you're receiving justice. There was a lot of heartbreak, deception, and in the house, in the home. It's like you were always trying, maybe you were trying to offer, or an offer was brought to you, or you were bringing an offer so others can see, or to be enlightened to a situation, to a matter, to be able to be in calm when things don't seem. Oh shit, I'm all the way up there. Sorry guys if I'm like with the Hangman. Okay, in your environment there was a lot of betrayal and maybe even payouts to try to keep you from moving forward, to keep you stagnant, to keep you stuck, to keep you just there as a witness to something that had, it's like, let me just get in until you got enlightened on a matter. I feel like maybe you were stuck, or there was a situation about the home that you were being offered an opportunity to become enlightened about. So you might have felt stuck until you got that enlightenment. You might have felt stuck until you saw through it, until you put a death to that emotion. What was that emotion about? About holding on either to money or to possessions too tightly, or, you know, could be even people. About no longer accepting payoffs. And I guess by payoffs, what are we talking about with payoffs? It's like selling yourself out for love that is not even fulfilling you. It's like this energy feels like, I'll give you something that you think you want, or something that you think you need, or something that you think would be good for you. But then it's like, for what you're giving me, it's not really worth what I'm getting out of it. What I'm getting out of it isn't really working. So you're passionately seeing a new vision because you put a death to that energy. You put an end to people that are possessive, people that try to hold on to you physically based on material gains or based on what they can get out of you, or people that were greedy, or people that didn't share their resources, like or maybe even look down on you. Whatever the case might be, it had to do with material gains and putting an end to, I guess, people that can where did I hear it? Everybody has a price or something like that. But it's like, how are people paying you? How are you being paid off to do other people's biddings? Like for a job, a family, a person, you know, like your time where you invested, and the people that you're helping, and the people that you're serving, and the way that you're serving, is it really giving you the payout? And by payout, we're not talking monetary, we're talking about energy value. Are you receiving the value of the energy that you put into this? Did you really get like an energy boost out of it? And I guess you can say that that would be like tit for tat, but it really isn't. It's like when you know you're doing something, you're going to get the energy for yourself, whether the person or organization received it or not. You're doing what makes you feel good. So whatever that is, the moment you don't feel that what you're doing fulfills you, you shift. You move into something that does. Like don't give yourself breadcrumbs. I feel like this disruptive energy, you didn't really make like a choice about this Emperor in reverse. I feel like there's like a certain empathy. This could be that King of Wands or King of Water that was in reverse, that you probably saw as an Emperor at some point. You presume that they were well invested in matters, especially when it comes to the way that they perceive an independent woman. Or this Emperor, like in reverse, like you made a choice not to interact with this Emperor in reverse in terms of investing in this Emperor in reverse because of how he dealt with Nine of Pentacles in reverse energy. It's almost like he saw, either he liked to keep independent women down, or he saw women as like worthless, in the sense of like that if she was by herself, like she had to be not worthy. It's like a negative. He didn't have the best view of femininity, of the feminine, I should say. But you still didn't make a judgment on this person. I don't even think you feel like it's your place to make a judgment call on this person. It's like, hey, if that's how you look at the world, if that's how you believe women are, if that's how you see life, then that's how you are. you already see it for what it is, but it's not your place to make that judgment call. It's like, let it be what it is. They'll eventually experience what they need to experience. We have a Knight of Wands. So it's like you might get a message that somebody's overreacting. You're just like, it's like somebody's trying to keep bringing chaos to your peace. This could even be your own kids, like, whenever they're, like, complaining about something that bothers them or something that's, and it could be very small stuff, like, the apple juice didn't open, and it's like, okay, you don't have to come crying about it and it's so angry and upset. Just bring me the apple juice and ask me, hey, can you open the apple juice, please? Sure, no problem. Here you go. It's like maybe learning how to handle emotional things. I feel like this is a cycle that I don't feel it's gonna close out anytime soon. I think when it comes to, I feel like when it comes to emotional maturity, putting that in balance, there might not be very many opportunities because maybe emotions are not meant to be in balance. Trust your intuition on that. I don't know. All I can say is that in your day-to-day routine, right, you're noticing that there's this like eruption of emotional immaturity in some levels, and that pattern has not really closed out. And that could be what's keeping opportunities from accessing opportunities. It might be, you could also be like, I feel like you're like in a portal, protected, and either you're giving opportunities or these wands from the Knight of Wands are probably not reaching you, not touching you, not affecting your day-to-day, because you're able to tune into your intuition, and it's like emotionally block out ill intention or abrasive energy that's trying to like get you disruptive. We got the Sun in reverse. There's somebody that you are connected to. A King of Pentacles is in reverse, but this is like hidden from you. They're not happy. This King of Pentacles got caught up in some devilish energies, addictions or contracts that were not on the up and up. They got involved in some financial issues. They're not very happy, but they can't really communicate about it. This person is keeping a lot of hidden sadness. This is somebody that you probably, just through the grapevine, someone you know, someone you might have been attached to. I feel like this could be like an ex-spouse or an ex, family member or somebody you're not in touch with anymore. Their finances or their health isn't doing too well. They were involved in some contracts that were shady. They weren't communicating because they were like in some kind of depression, or they're not communicating because they're in some kind of depression. Could be something to do with children. They're just not very happy. Yeah, I think it might be like with a child, a situation with a child. And they weren't trusting their intuition. And now they're kind of like anxious about a collaboration that they didn't do, or that they didn't. They're having some kind of tower moment, because it's almost like they're getting a realization like they should have cooperated when they had the opportunity, and now that they didn't, something is going on. So something is being revealed to you, and it's going to bring an end to the saga of this drama. The moon in reverse with the Page of Pentacles, it's like something you saw through a situation, so it didn't manifest. You got out of a certain energy that had you kind of like dull, and you ended up not moving forward on it. You didn't move forward on it because you saw through it, so it brought an end to that situation. So someone might be saying that you're not healing, or that you haven't healed some kind of like issue, miscommunication. You're not a star. Like you might be getting a lot of attention from people that are upset at you, people you blocked, people that were in the King of Cups in reverse, emotional manipulators that you escaped from, basically. So they might be talking a lot of trash. Yeah, they're imbalanced, at least out of harmony with you. They're not in balance with you because they were lying. They weren't being truthful. And maybe you calling it out put them in a position where they can't enjoy the pleasures of their mind games and trying to, pretend that they care, but it's really controlling. Yeah, Spirit put a stop to this Hierophant in reverse, this controlling energy. It was like trying to be like keep you morally connected, but it was to serve them or their church. And by church, it could be like the community, or it could be their, this lineage, even like this family, this group. It's like they were benefiting off of your loyalty to your own morality. Or even, like, they thought, like, oh, this person believes that they should always be this way, so they're not going to mind. Let's say, if you're like, if you care about humanity in the sense of, like, help others, and, you're very vocal about, we should all help one another out. Somebody knows that you don't mind helping people out when they need it, so they take advantage of that help. They take advantage of it for fun. They do it because it's funny to see you play into that, thinking that you're just like a mindless person. Like, oh, I'm bringing positive, information, and I'm just going to be nice all the time. No, I'm going to be nice to be nice because I'm nice if I want to be nice. But if I'm busy, or if I'm up to, taking care of me and mine, I'm not putting me and mine to the back burner to serve you. Not any you that is you out there, any organization, company, family, friend, whatever. It's not that I won't stop whatever I got going on to help a friend in need, or stop what I got going on to give my attention and time to help resolve a matter for you, or listen to some issue you got going on. That's what, caring about the people we love, that's what we do. But you make a habit of that. You make a dependency of that. You make it a common, like, you're entitled to my time and energy for this problem you have that has nothing to do with me. It's kind of selfish to assume and get angry at and talk trash about, as if somebody is owing that to you, as if somebody is supposed to. So if you pay people off assuming that that's what they want and need, and then a week later you come to them and say, hey, I'm going to need you to do this for me, and you expect that person to be like, sure, no problem, I got you, I'll do it, because you paid them in some way, shape, or form a week in advance. You made it seem, however, that it was just a gift. Here you go, enjoy yourself, have some fun. You think the person's so naive that they're just going to take it and accept your kindness, not knowing that there's something in exchange for that. But guess what? Two can play that game. So when you come to someone that is not naive, that you thought was naive, and you think you're going to play the same game, and you're going to pay them with underlying contracts, assuming that when the time is right in a future date, you're going to use that underlying contract against them under the assumption that they're going to do for you exactly what you need because you bought them off, you're wrong. You don't buy them off. And then you piss yourself off because you're like, but I gave you. Oh, really? So now you're going to say, but you gave me? Why did you give me that then? You said it was a gift. You said, here you go, enjoy yourself. Oh, seriously? Really? Why? For what? Oh, because I just want to give it to you. I just like you. I just want to be nice. Oh, okay then. Thank you so much. Don't get mad when I don't do what you want because you thought you could buy me off. How many people don't get into relationships that are like that? See, but when you prioritize your peace and your productivity or your sense of purpose, people think it's just a game or just a hobby or just being petty. I just want to be left alone. It's not a manipulation. Sometimes you just want to be left alone. Why would you assume that it means anything other than that? And from that now think that you're going to pay off my time. Here, look, let me take you here, let me take you there. It's really just so that I don't have that alone time with me because whatever I'm doing in my alone time scares or bothers you. And now you're going to manipulate and assume that you got to control what I do in my alone time because I'm not doing it with you. Get the hell out of here, man. Some people are foolish. I tell you, foolish. Got lots of karmic energies. Why is it like that? Got all these karmic in it. Because that's what they feel like. They feel like hillbilly from 1930s. Doesn't know how to do shit for himself. Investigate. Alright, let's investigate this Scorpio energy. 12th house, introspection. This could be Pluto in the 12th, hidden enemies. Introspection, investigate. A Sagittarius, expand. You could be dealing with a Scorpio Sagittarius, like this energy is what Capricorn achieved. You may have overcome a hidden enemy, Scorpio or Sag individual, that was trying to affect your subconscious, that was pretending on the outside this is what it is, but behind the scenes in terms of like how they viewed the situation, it's like they were able to put into motion Mars. They were competitive. So it was like, how can I kind of sting you, piss you off, get a rise out of you, create tension in your life, because they're in discomfort with their own energy, their own passions. They don't know how to tame that flame. They wanted to create a conjunction, some kind of alliance with you, but it was a opposition. It was a confrontation. It was like they want to pretend to be your friend. They want to pretend to be your ally. We're one and the same, you and I. We are just alike. We have the same shared beliefs and interests, blah, blah, blah. Same experiences, same type of, like, we've been in the same situation. You and I, we're similar. Yeah, you and I. But that's bullshit. They're your op. But let's see. Op doesn't have to necessarily be bad. This could be a good resource for you. Someone you value. This is someone, like, it could just be your equal. Yes, look, the sun. Divine feminine. This could be your masculine. This could be your feminine. I feel like because you achieved this situation, this hidden enemy in your 12th house, because you were able to see and expand your vision about that type of behavior, that hidden intention to create a rise out of your intention, and that kind of, power struggle even, because of that achievement, an alliance you're receiving some kind of alliance with someone that's in opposition to you. And now that could also be someone that has a different point of view than you, but you're still a good, it's like a good balance. Oppositions, they don't always have to be negative. I feel like confronting an issue actually can bring opportunity. And I don't think, because this is a 5 and 3 is 8. This is like manifesting opportunity, second house resources. So this person is a source that you can make resources out of. And it's not like, oh, I'm going to use you for resources. No, it's like we're mutually benefiting one another because we're opposites. We're actually equals. So you're being asked to immerse yourself in this feeling. Give yourself the nurturing from this energy. The possibility the possibility of an alliance that is an equal opposite force of joy, of wealth, health, high values, love, connection, emotional battery of, it's like your emotional charge, the moon, the perception. So yeah, definitely very emotional in terms of like, this person is either going to match your vibe or they're going to be very fulfilling emotionally to you. So that's the message. Take care. Oh, they could also be a Cancer.